All right, Shalom. I want to give our praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to my apostle, elders of great meal, some of the will. Peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Tazim Bar coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And through the spirit, I want to do a real brief lesson. I'm not going to really make it too long, about to get ready for camp. But just seeing this clip and the spirit jumped on me to do, just wanted to do something real brief. Just keeping that mind frame. And these are the times we're coming into, man. You see all the things going on with ICE as far as the deportations and things like that. That's nothing but tactics of the devil that's trying to stir up a civil unrest and a civil war. Because you got to understand, a lot of these things are nothing but agent provocateurs, psyops, and controlling the narrative. So this is what they want, man. They trying to stir the pot and really usher in a civil war type scenario to take place. So they're justified in coming in with the boots on the ground by what? Order out of chaos. They want to create the chaos and usher in the order, man. But hey, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. So I'm gonna let this devil talk and show you how all these things are COINTEL operations and psyops and things like that. Because at the end of the day, Esau, Edom, they have agendas what they want to do, and they have all these different militia groups and clubs and things like that. They really want a civil war to take place, so they can think they're going to capitalize off of it. But at the end of the day, we understand that's Bible prophecy. The only one's going to be capitalized off of what's taking place is Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and the hopeful elect. And that's what the fall of this society, man. So I'm going to play this clip, grab some precepts, and apparatus out, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And this is a copyright disclaimer under the section 107 of the Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer, fair use under the disclaimer of the section 107 of the Act of 1976. I'm not using this for any monetary gain. I'm using this for educational purposes only. I'm not using this for any monetary gain. I'm using this for educational purposes only under the Copyright Act of 1976 under the section 107. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
I'm going to have to ask the question, and if the answer's no, then the penalty's death. I may very well have to put a bullet in the back of my dad's head. Their views are this. They believe that society is going to collapse on its own or from man-made events, and they want to speed up the collapse of society. And they want to do it through guerrilla warfare tactics. We take out a power grid. We take out a water system by poisoning it. At that point, I'd gained enough trust to be brought in to the murder plot. You're talking about going and buying catch.
And it's no coincidence. Last night in PA in Philly, there was emergency sent out through all their people phones that 911 was going to be down. So they already creating these different types of scenarios of how 911 will be down. And you got all these different things happening as far as in the Trump administration, as far as a lot of layoffs with the federal workers and CIA and different agencies and things like that. And even in the CDC and all these various things. So we're seeing what's going on, man. They're creating the scenarios so they can usher in the order out of chaos, man. So don't be surprised if you start seeing like more scenarios of 911 being out in various places where you stay, even a blackout situation. Because this is what they want, man. They want to create the scenarios of civil unrest.
Bags that attach to your AR so it catches the brass so you don't leave it. We're going to leave all of our electronics at a campsite. We're going to go to a pay-by-the-hour motel. We're going to scrub ourselves, make sure there's no dead skin that can come off. When I went back to the office to run the FBI's training, I told everybody, the 19-year-old led carbine training, and it was good. They could get the drop on a lot of average Joes.
So I guess I hadn't heard of this group or even groups like this prior to hearing you talk about it.
A lot of people have. A lot of law enforcement has.
I bet, man. And it's pretty shocking stuff that we'll be talking about. But I guess similar to the Outlaws, just explain to people kind of what this group's ideology is and then how you ended up getting into it.
Sure. So the accelerationist white supremacy view goes like this. Number one, they hate the government. So don't think Republican, Democrat, right, left. That's not it. They hate the government. They want a Hitler's Germany. That's what they want. which is what a neo-Nazi usually wants anyway, but with accelerationists, they go about it by different means. An accelerationist is, their views are this. They don't believe there's a political solution that can save the white race. They believe that society is going to collapse on its own or from man-made events, and they want to accelerate. They want to speed up the collapse of society, because in their mind, when the collapse of society happens, then they can come in, clean house, and have their own ethno-state. That may not necessarily mean the entire United States, but I can tell you that when I was in the base, my cell, CELL, was looking at property. My cell and the Maryland cell were looking at property in the Appalachian Mountains. There was a Northwest, Midwest, Detroit, out of Detroit area in Michigan. They were looking at property in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The Pacific Northwest, they already had property. The leader of the base had property in the Pacific Northwest. So that kind of compound idea, we run our own thing, we are our own doctors and everything. Again, not a lot of afterthought on some of that stuff, but that's the idea. And they want to do it through like guerrilla warfare tactics. You're not going to see an accelerationist out on the street in a hood and a robe, or walking down the street with signs protesting and yelling racial slurs. They don't want to do that. They believe, number one, that makes them a mark, lets everybody know who they are, and it does no good. What they believe is, let's do guerrilla warfare tactics. Let's do small attacks, like we take out a power plant or power grid. We take out a water system by poisoning it. You kill lefties. You kill anti-fascists. You kill non-whites. Burn their businesses, stuff like that. Slash their tires. Anything to create chaos, to start the downfall of society. So a lot of times when I'm teaching, I say, like, remember that year when everything was being burnt and towns were being, they're sitting up on a hill and they're laughing. They're like, man, we hope the cops start shooting these people start shooting the cops, when we can come in and clean up afterwards. And that is one of the plots we uncovered in that case. Something very similar. They were going to start popping rounds at a Second Amendment gun rally protest that was going to be in January of 2021 in Virginia.
You see? And that's the mindset of these Edomites. And that says an undercover FBI agent reveals how he stopped a plot to kick off civil war in America. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't time yet. Because man's goings are the ways of the Lord, man. How can he understand his own way? Hey, when civil war kick off, it's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And we can clearly see we're at the tipping point where we're one event away from this place really being shut down. And I know people say, oh, y'all broken record. Y'all been saying this for years. So yeah, you got to be in the spirit to really see what's going on, man. Things are heating up in the Babylon where it can lead to civil unrest, man. You're seeing the job market. You're seeing everybody's getting laid off. You see what's going on since this administration's been back in position of rulership. When I say the Trump administration, and they hadn't been in office barely going on 6-7 months. And when you see what's going on, man, they're firing people, they're laying people off, the deportations, all this stuff that's going on in these places, all this stuff that's going on as far as these floods, and then on down with the big beautiful bill as far as a lot of Medicaid and things like that, SNAP benefits, and a lot of stuff is being cut, which is going to lead to all hell breaking loose, man. This is what they want, man. This is what they want. That's going to lead into all hell breaking loose, man. And this is Revelation chapter 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe means destruction. Destruction is coming to the shores of Babylon the Great, man. And you in the spirit, you can see that. It says, woe to the habits of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down to you having great wrath, because they know if he have but a short time. And the devil goes back to the Latin word diablos. And who's playing the part of the devil on the earth, man? And that word diablos go back to the deceiver. Who's playing the part of the deceiver on earth, man? The so-called white man. When you get in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, it speaks on Satan, man. And who's doing the bidding of Satan? The so-called white man. All these different agendas and plots and schemes and psyops that he's doing. He's trying to usher in this new world order, man. But the only way he can really usher it in, he has to have order out of chaos. He has to usher in the chaos with all these different things taking place. So you see what's going on with the crazy floods and how Trump administration laid off a bunch of workers that work for the place that alarms you and lets you aware of what's going on. So that's bringing in chaos, man. That's bringing in chaos. So now what are they doing, man? They're creating all these different scenarios with these ICE protests and things like that, which is going to lead to all hell breaking loose, man. Now they're coming after the Haitians, man, and the Jamaicans. But at the end of the day, it's them waging war against the people. It's them waging war against the citizens of Babylon the Great, man, which is going to lead to all hell breaking loose, man. But that's what they want, because why? This is the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. This is prophecy, man. This Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And it says, and I will give the Egyptians against, it said, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And who's the modern day Egyptians? You so-called Americans. The Americans and the Edomites are the so-called Egyptians. And it says, and I will, and they shall fight every one against his neighbor, and every one against his brother. It says, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what you're seeing ushering in, man. You're seeing they're trying to create the division throughout America. But at the end of the day, what are the people doing? The people are saying it's really the government against the people. But but people still going to have people fighting amongst each other when it's a lack of supplies, when it's a lack of food, a lack of bread, a lack of resources. That's going to lead to people, invading one another, busting in people's homes, putting people down. We used to really start seeing these protests start to escalate, because I think I seen something yesterday where somebody in the ICE protest started shooting at the ICE. So you're going to start seeing more scenarios like that here in the months to come, man, because it's really going to start to escalate very, very soon, man. You see what happened when they came over there in the little Haiti. They try to go over there where the Haitians be at, which is the tribe of Levi, and they got their ass whooped. But now next time they're going to come with the boots on the ground, and that's going to lead to all hell breaking loose, man. You best believe it, man. That's the times we're coming into, man. And you best believe they have agent provocateurs all in the midst of that, man. All in the midst of that's going to create some type of scenario where it's going to be all hell breaking loose, man. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, that's what we want, man. We're clearly seeing that the Lord is ushering this thing in, and the Lord is speeding up the days for the elect's sake. Because we're in the times where things are really going to start getting heated up in society, man. This 2 Thessalonians chapter 15 and verse 14. This is, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. There goes that word again, woe. Woe means destruction. It said, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. And this is what they want. This, when society collapses, that is going to be the real tipping point of all hell breaking loose. When you wake up one morning and you ain't got no power, or when you wake up and ain't no money in your account, people are going to fucking lose it, man. People are going to lose it. You're going to start seeing anarchy, man, as far as people busting in these stores, busting in these Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals and Walmarts and Costco's and just taking shit, man. And the police, they going to be doing the same thing, because they going to be, hey, shit, they ain't going to be shit here trying to, stop people from doing that shit. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be trying to work to get to the home and worry about their families too. What if some major attack take place? The authorities ain't going to give a fuck. They're going to be trying to get to their people, man. You seen that in movies, man. That's the mindset of a normal person. They don't give a fuck about their job. They're gonna be trying to get to their loved ones, their wives, and their kids when some major event take place, man. And the elites of this society know that. This is why they have the different sleeper cells in America, man. This is why they have United Nations already in America. They crossed through the border. They've been here for years, man. They've been studying the people, man. That's why they call it sleeper cells. They're just waiting to get activated, man. They just waiting to get activated when shit really hit the fan. They're gonna usher in the boots on the ground with the martial law troops and things like that, man. You people ain't really seen nothing yet, man. That's why they try to basically, give you that smoke and mirrors with the ICE deportation and upping it, getting it upped up with a big beautiful bill with all that funding. But and then that's just really a code word for martial law and the detention centers and FEMA camps, man. That's all it is, because they're gonna lock every American up, man. If you're not with this new society, they're about to usher in, as far as the social credit system, as far as the Palantir of global of basic surveillance of everybody in America. That's coming, man. Backed by the MOTB, the mark of the beast. That's what's coming, man. And people are not gonna submit. These people are gonna fucking lose it, man. These people are gonna lose it, and they're gonna ration out and then not take matters in their own hand, man. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings and princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to give a damn about the authority, man. They're going to be taking matters in their own hand, man. And when it's a situation when there's no 911, what the fuck you going to do, man? There's people going to be fucking losing it, man. Ain't going to be no 911. Ain't gonna be no cops running to your aid. Ain't gonna be no EMTs running to your aid after your granddaddy or somebody done got shot the fuck up and then broke in your house. Nah, man. It's gonna be a dog-eat-dog world, man. It's gonna be a dog-eat-dog world. A civil unrest society is coming to a nation near you, man. That's coming, man. Which is what? Civil war, man. And people are going to really be taking matters in their own hand. It's going to be a dog-eat-dog world. It says a man should desire to go in the city should not be able. Why? Because they're going to be setting up checkpoints when all hell break loose. They're going to have to get the troops over here to help. They're going to be setting up checkpoints, man. You can go and come in. That's the times we're coming into, man. Because every city you see around you, every city, county, everywhere around you is going to be fucking goddamn crazy. It's going to be just like the movies. In the daytime, it's going to be quiet, man, because people are going to be trying to move around without being seen. Nighttime is really going to get crazy, man. And it says, because the pride of the city shall be destroyed, and the house, it says, because the pride of the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what's coming. Why? Because America is in that very prideful state, especially so-called MAGAs. They've been prideful since Trump getting in office, but now, hey, they saying that he ain't even for them, man. He humbling them about the ESPN list. He's humbling them about taking away their Medicaid and basically taking away their rights as a citizen at the end of the day. Now they're saying that he's against them. A lot of them still is for the MAGA shit, but a lot of them starting to wake up and see that, hey, man, this guy, he's part of the problem. But at the end of the day, this is still the will of Yahweh Shem Shah that's crippling Babylon the Great, that's crashing the society, man. And we're in those times, man. We're in those times, man. And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. And that's what's coming, man. Where people are going to be, busting in other people's houses, taking their food, taking all the resources, taking their women, taking their children. That's what's coming. And you people, you fair to realize that because you go on your day-to-day and you go on your Saturday morning jog and you go grocery shopping and you go watch your little Netflix and your TikTok and shit all day and you really, try to push it off like this shit is not happening around you. It's happening around you. It's happening. And it's coming, man. And that's the mindset of a lot of you people, man. You're not aware of what the times you're living in, man. That's why the scripture says what, man? This is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. See then you walk circumspect, but not as fools, but as wise. You need to be circumspect concerning the times you're living in. Paying attention to your surroundings, man. Understanding what's going on around America is going to affect you in your household very, very soon. All these legislations and things that's been passed is going to affect you in your household, man. That's why we keep telling you, Jace, man, now is the time you need to rise in the park. It's not your risk. You need to really be setting your house in order and get right with the Lord, because the times we're coming into are some very, very serious times, man. You, Jace, keep trying to put off from day to day. As it says in Sirach, the 5th chapter, the 7th verse, you're trying to put it off like it's not going to happen. But, hey, in the day of thy securities, you're going to be destroyed. You keep putting your trust in your money, your bag, everything that's not in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, that's going to lead you to getting destroyed, man. And that's what's coming. It says redeeming the time because the days are evil. Evil times are ahead, man. Bad times are ahead, man. A lot of you Jays is trying to push that shit off, but it's happening. It's happening right in front of you, man. Evil goes back to bad times. If you're in the spirit, you should be redeeming those times, man, and being aware of those, man. The 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, right, it says, measure thou the times diligent within itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I said, which I told thee before, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which you have made. If you're in the spirit, if you're seeing what's going on for us, what's going on with Israel, Iran, far as this Palantir, the swearing in all these damn technocrats in the military, far as all these aid and stuff being cut, we're clearly in a time of war. You can clearly see that they're cutting funding so they can go fund the war. What's going on as far as this uproar with the people with the money for the ICE and all this stuff, that they're clearly ushering in a dictatorship, man. That's what they're doing. They're clearly ushering in martial law. They're clearly ushering in all these FEMA camps and re-education centers, man. They're clearly about to crash the society, man. And if you're paying attention to the times and the times you're living in, you can clearly see that waging war with the American citizens at the end of the day. And yeah, he's starting with Jake, with the northern tribes, now with the southern tribe. At the end of the day, they're waging war with the Americans, because at the end of the day, they're about to usher in this new world order, man. And if you're in the spirit, you can see that, man. If you're in the spirit, you can see that. You see what's going on with the weather. It says, therefore, see then that you should be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And you seeing the earthquakes. We've been seeing the earthquakes. We've seen all the floods, what they're doing, as far as them using the weather for modification with the HARP machines and things like that, using all these different direct energy weapons to do these various things that you're seeing taking place. Why? Because Esau, he's trying to set forth his new world order, man, his smart cities and things like that, man. That's what you see, man. And that's really the Most High that's using Esau, to usher in these plagues, man. Because why? The Babylon the Great is done. It had its point. We're at the end of this man's society. That's why the scripture says better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. Hey, we're seeing the end of this man's reign, the end of his system. So within the end of his system, what is Esau Edom doing? He's just showing you that he's about to usher in all these various things, man. And the main thing that's really going to usher in the bad times is civil unrest, man. When they really have some type of major event take place, which is going to lead to people fighting amongst each other, man. That's the times we're coming into, man. And it's clear as day that it's here. It's clear as day. If you're in the spirit, you can see that, man. You can see that that's what they want, man. And you best believe, like we keep saying, don't be surprised if something happened where it's a lights out situation. Don't be surprised if some major earthquake shake up Babylon the Great, man. Don't be surprised if it's a major event like that 911 situation took place in the early 2000s. Don't be surprised, man, because Esau Edom know his time is short. He's getting exposed as far as the child trafficking and all these other things. So what he has to do, he has to draw the attention off himself and do some major event. That's why when Trump was asked about the Jeffrey Esper thing, he was trying to, talk about all the flooding and everything else. He was trying to deflect. And the people seen that. So what's happening is getting heated up. So why? They're going to do something major, man. That's why you need to keep your eyes on the prize, and that's keeping your eyes single on the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Clearly see we in those times, man. So, like I said, operators, our Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Just wanted to get something up real quick before go out here on the campsite and teach. Just showing you, man, hey, this thing is heating up, man. These ice rays and things is going to continue to heat up. A lot of people are being distracted with the floods, but best believe it's going to be some major event where they're going to start, whacking these people down in the street, if you get what I'm saying, man. So I want to close it out by saying, call Haloyim Laya, how about Shemal Shah, by Shimon Kakodash. Double honors to my apostle, elders, great millstone of Ruel, and peace and salutation, all that I can push in this truth and our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom.